Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to the finals of my locals mega tournament that took place this past Saturday. Not yesterday, but the week before Saturday. I believe I'm also double uploading today, so if you guys have not seen the top 4 match, go check it out. I'll leave a link to it up in the top right for you guys to click on to go watch if you want to see how the top 4 match played out for the finals here. So on the camera here, we have my friend Adam, aka Kaz, on the right, playing I think a 57 card Prank Adventurer list, which is pretty common nowadays, pretty popular deck. Definitely climbed its way through the ranks past couple weeks. Versus my friend Colin, aka C Goody, on his Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc deck, who was on the top 4 feature. And played against Phantom Knights. My friend Adam on the right played against the Mirror, actually, was the 60 card variant. So yeah, there will be deck profiles going up. I think I have 2 profiles for you guys. I want to get a third. I might be able to get the third. Hopefully, it depends on if he wants to do it or not. So yeah, they're just getting ready to get started here. Opened up one of his OTS packs. So my friend on the right was actually going to play the locals that was taking place after this one, because this one got started much earlier. So a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is the 8th round so far. I think we had like 25 people for this mega tournament. Again, it's not our typical locals, it's a higher entry, so a lot of the people that play at our regular locals, you know, not as competitive, so it's ended up being a little bit of a lower turnout. But the winner of this match will get $140 in store credit. I believe second will get $70. So that's kind of what's on the line here. We will see him lead with Illusion of Chaos, adding Magician's Souls, and importantly here, not just, you know, openly milling the top card off of his deck, revealing that it was Illusion of Chaos, because that tells your opponent that you didn't keep the illusion, right? So if you search through your deck and kind of bluff, right, you know, they don't know if you either kept the illusion or you put something else back, right? It gives less knowledge overall. It might really seem like a pointless step, but it is kind of something that you can do to give yourself a little bit of an edge, I guess, mentally over the opponent, making it sure they, you know, they don't know that, like, illusion is definitely still in your hand, or it's definitely not in your hand anymore, right? I think DB Grinder mentioned something like similar to that in a previous video of his. Might have been his deck profile, I'm not sure. Yeah, so yeah, just a pretty important tidbit for those that were unaware. It's a very small thing, doesn't really seem like it makes too big of a difference, but it definitely can. So we are going to see him, you know, go into normal standard Prank Kid combo, right, into Doodle Doo now, and we're going to see him activate the place. That's going to go ahead and get him a search, and then he's just going to be able to go ahead and Souls it away alongside a Draco back. And to draw 2, you know, you don't really need the Prank Kid's place anymore. So it's just, why not turn it into free card advantage in hand. And the Brave Engine, not online with his hand, but he will still, looks like, have full Prank Kid combo and possibly some hand traps to back it up. I mean, especially after, you know, resolving basically Pot of Greed with his hand. So wouldn't be shocked if he had drawn in some more hand traps there. We'll see what the play from here is going to be. Yep, as expected, going for the Prank Kid's Pranks to get the extra extender on field, to probably link into the Bow Wow to get the last remaining cards back to his hand that he needs. We'll see him burn 5 to go ahead and special summon here, discarding a green. And we'll see what he decides to go ahead and summon. Could definitely, yeah, get an extra body out onto the field, and that way, I think if you fuse, you don't use all the Prank Kids you have, and you can kind of like save one in hand for a normal summon for next turn. And we'll see him just set 1 here. If he has another one to set, he could play around Twin Twister. Well, not play around Twin Twister, but, you know, if you have more than 1 set, I guess it helps. Just because if you have 2 set and they have Cosmic, it's like a 50-50. If they have 2 set and they have Twin, it's just, you know, that's rough. You lose your Battle Butler. If you have 3, right, makes it really tough. But, I mean, this is game 1, so you don't really have to worry about those things right now. We will see him resolve the pranks, leaving Meow Mew in grave. So if there is a Butler this game, it is going to be 2 interruptions. And right now, I think he's just double checking to make sure he knows where everything is. Like, he knows what cards are in hand, you know, recalling, okay, so what did you add back off of Doodle, etc., etc. You know, what did you recycle, etc., etc. Things like that. Just kind of keep tabs on what he can expect to be in the hand, because you really don't want to be surprised, at least about the things that you shouldn't be surprised about. 6 card Forbidden Droplet, although I think he might have had a Droplet in hand already. So he's definitely strapped. Here we're going to see Fractal pitch itself to dump a Sparrow. And then we're going to see Warbler here activate. We will see him chain Bow Bark to that. Usually we see the Bow in the standby phase, but might be afraid of Gamma, as this typical player is typically playing Gamma a lot. So maybe trying to dodge that there. But yeah, I mean, the standby phase Bow Bark is, I feel like, really good if you're not worried about Gamma anyways. But, because I guess it all plays around talents, too. And we will see him resolve this Warbler Sparrow here to go ahead and add the Sapphire Swallow. Just going to go ahead and double check something probably specific about the card. And we'll see if he is going to fire off the Pandemonium. It looks like he is going to. Fusing with red, blue, and green. Going for the Battle Butter. Chainlink 1 green, Chainlink 2 red, Chainlink 3 blue, and then a possible Chainlink 4 Battle Butler. We'll see if he goes for it. Doesn't necessarily need to. But either way, Forbidden Droplet is going to pose a big problem here. That is going to completely shut down the Battle Butler, which is huge. Like, stopping Battle Butler is absolutely bonkers. I mean, they just literally end on a token at that point. Like, if you have even like a Forbidden Chalice for the Battle Butler, like, it's just, sure, they can chain it again, but like, it's just 1 Raigeki. If your deck loses to 1 Raigeki, I guess then you may need to rework some things. But very easy card to deal with. It's just a matter of like a lot of things in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, it's just drawing the outs. Like, that ends up being a big issue right now in modern Yu-Gi-Oh when it comes to these big boards, at least in this particular format, is, you know, did you draw the out? And in this case, we are seeing a Forbidden Droplet to stop the Battle Butler, which is huge. Only needs a Droplet for 1, too, because, right, the other Prank Kids on the field aren't a threat. Although he would, you know, would be in his best interest to go ahead and clear them, as they will act as essentially follow-up if he has at least 2 on board, right? Because he does not have access to Meow Me right now. Although he could recycle it. But we will see him go for the Starling. And also important to note here, he did not discard the Droplet off a Droplet. So that could come in clutch later. We'll see if it does. We're going to see him activate Recital to go ahead and search. And we're going to see a Ghost Ogre on the Recital Starling. Okay. I mean, that's going to do a couple things. That's going to, make it much harder for him to get to Utopic Draco if he was going to go for it at all. And also cut off a potential line to Zeus, which Zeus into this board, I think, actually will just seal it. Like, we know the Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc deck in the past as like an absolute Zeus machine, especially with Assembled Nightingale, you know, with its ability to attack directly, putting like 6+ materials underneath it. Prank Kids, like, absolutely having no chance at playing through that. Absolutely destroys DPE because it sends it and doesn't destroy it. Wiping any bit of extenders and follow-up he would have off the field, because Prank Kids is all about the field presence. Not really too much graveyard presence, right? The Prank Kids don't do anything in the grave, per se, on their own. They have to be linked off, right? So we will see a Veiler on the Nerval, and that's going to be a very good Veiler. Just because you can't let that resolve, right? You don't want Omen to come out. And then have this play on top of it. So he will barrel Canary here into a 4-material Assembled Nightingale. And this Assembled Nightingale is at 2, 4, 6, 800, and it can attack 4 times directly. Yeah, that's 3,200 damage off of just 1 monster swinging in directly. And luckily our Prank Kids player is playing Prank Kids, right? Because they can just manipulate their life points very, very easily. Already up to 10,000 life points. So the 36 from this, you know, particular, or the 32 from this particular Nightingale is not going to hurt as much as it normally would. Only dropping him down to 68, essentially only taking 12 from base starting life points. And we will see a Zeus, no Downard, interestingly enough. That would have made it a 2-4, right? 1, 2, 3 send Zeus, and the Zeus is going to resolve. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge Zeus. He will get access, though, to Battle Butler's Graveyard effect, which we don't really see resolve too often, but he can basically reborn a non-fusion from the grave. And it looks like he will go for Bow Wow Bark. Makes the most sense because it can just resource recur, which is very good, especially in a situation like this where it's kind of coming down to whether or not you can grind here. We'll see our Tri-Lyrilusc player pass turn on just the Zeus with only 1 send remaining on it here. And pretty much nothing else. We're going to see him normal summon green. And, I mean, even in this position, 1 Zeus here is just, I feel like, enough. The only thing he has to have is like a Fusion Destiny or Brave Engine. I feel like that's his only out to this. We will see him Zeus there, getting rid of the Bow Wow and the green. And I do see a copy of Rite of Aramesir, so having pretty much exactly what he needs here to keep going. Otherwise, I think that would have signaled the end of game 1. So we'll see him get the token. And we'll see him go ahead and grab a Fateful Adventure, if you can find it, in that massive 57 card deck that a lot of people are on. Some 60, some 57, some very odd numbers of deck lists coming out now. Because the Brave Engine is just almost mandatory in a lot of decks, and sometimes you just got to squeeze it in. Especially with the hand trap count too. So there, yeah. I mean, this is like, talk about almost perfect rebuttal here to the Zeus. I mean, this is it. Brave Engine plus DPE, and there's that Alti Fusion Destiny looking so damn good. So DPE plus a live Wandering Griffin Rider into a 2600 Zeus. Doesn't matter though if it's stats, because DPE will pop the Fateful and the Zeus and swing in for 2 for 6500. I believe, which should put him pretty low. Yeah, should put him down to 500. I think I might have miscalculated there on my life point, so I'll have to go back and fix that. You guys won't see the mistake, though. So we will see our Tri-Lyrilusc player start his turn off by a normal summoning Kit. Do you pop with DPE here? Do you negate with Griffin Rider? Do you just let it go and negate with the Griffin Rider? And it looks like he will go ahead and try to negate, and there it is, that second copy of Forbidden Droplet, which was held. Could have easily pitched it off that first droplet, but holding it for this specific scenario for the crackback. And he's pitching to the Kit and the Nibiru alike. And we're going to see him banish the Enforcer, and that is going to seal the end of the game. Only with 500 life points left, too. That is going to do it. Wow. Honestly, it looked like, you know, our Prankets player could have sealed it there, but that droplet's so good. And as we start game 2 here, guys, don't forget to use my discount code WinterKill10 off at checkout at Imperium Duelist to save 10% off your order and support the channel. And if you guys are shopping on TCG Player or The Coldest Water, don't forget to check out the affiliate links I have to their site down in the description below. Great ways that you guys can support the channel outside of just watching videos on a regular basis, which I do appreciate just as much. So we're going to see our Pranked player here lead with the Brave Engine and also a copy of Place. And we're going to see him go ahead and probably grab Kid, as one does. And then, you know, get the Draco back, get the Griffin Rider, get all that established before, you know, committing any Prank Kids plays. Here we're going to see him link off blue for Meow Mew. That's will allow him to gain 1,000, bring out green. And it looks like we're going second cards here for our Tri-Brigade player, just having a copy of Infinite Impermanence, which unfortunately is not going to be nearly enough. And you could argue, you know, imperm the Doodle-Doo here, but obviously that is just going to force the Griffin Rider and just be a very, you know, low impact trade, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to see green special summon out here. We'll see what he's going to opt to send. Probably Pandemonium. Going to see him summon red and dumping the pranks here. Or, no, yeah, I was going to say he forgot to dump there, but he's going to go ahead and fix that now. Dumping a copy of Place and adding pranks off of the Doodle-Doo. So I would assume that he's probably already got Pandemonium in hand if that is the case, if he's just sending an extra copy of Place. And then we're going to see Doodle activate, add back 2, adding back just 2 names, activate pranks. And if he sets one here before the end phase, I would imagine that he's already gotten access to Pandemonium. Yeah, so there it is. Could be anything, right? Could be anything. This is where having something like Twin Twister is crazy. Because you could go standby phase, Imperm Griffin Rider, and then still in standby phase, Twin, and hit the set and hit like Pranks or Fateful. So we'll see him pick up a card there in the end phase, and then we'll see him pass turn. Our Tri-Brigade player opening Foolish, double Cobalt Sparrow, Sapphire Swallow, and Kit. Looks like a pretty clunky hand here. Gonna have to play through the full board. I mean, of course, you're gonna start with Imperm on Griffin Rider. He will negate the Griffin Rider, or negate the Imperm with the Griffin Rider, obviously just so you can get it back into the deck to keep in circulation, to be able to search out next turn, and then summon it back to the field, ideally. One of the craziest things about Griffin Rider. We're gonna see him Foolish Kits, and that is going to get ashed, keeping him off searching any good normal summons, and also keeping his Beast Warrior, Winged Beast count, you know, down in the graveyard. We still have an access to normal summon here, and he's going to go ahead and normal summon the Cobalt Sparrow, and then activate Sapphire Swallow. And this will bring itself out and another Cobalt Sparrow, and we'll see him activate Cobalt Sparrow. And he's going to go ahead and get a search, and we'll see exactly what he goes to search for. I mean, you've got to worry about Battle Butler at this point. I feel like Battle Butler right now on this current field is really strong. But he could just Barrel Canary, though, afterwards. And then, you know, that's a Zeus threatened. I don't know, this is a tough spot. I feel like, honestly, he could have, on that normal summon of Cobalt Sparrow, and correct me if I'm wrong, I might be missing something, but I feel like he could have just activated Pandemonium on the summon of Cobalt Sparrow. Very weak and vulnerable normal summon there. Summon Battle Butler and wipe the Cobalt Sparrow, and then I don't think he can use the Sapphire Swallow, because I think you need some form of body on field to use Sapphire Swallow, and he will search the Barrel Canary, which is a great follow-up here. Yeah, if you control a Winged Beast type monster, especially summon this and a level 1 Winged Beast type monster from your hand. So he could have just maybe had the read there that he was possibly going to try to make live a Sapphire Swallow. But that might be a bit of a stretch, then. I don't know. So you will add the Barrel Canary here, and we're going to see Pandemonium now, which might be a little late. And then obviously the chain links here will resolve, you know, red, green, blue, Butler. And Meow Mew is not in grave, actually. I think the Meow Mew was actually recycled off of the pranks. And this is one of those situations where you kind of wish you left the double Raigeki. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Prankids player. Any Prankids players can feel free to elaborate. I mean, I guess I can kind of see one reason for like a particular hand where you would want to put back the Meow Mew is like to try to not lose ultra hard to Droplet, because if your Battle Butler gets Dropleted, you want to make sure you have that the follow-up of Meow Mew in the extra deck for next turn, as opposed to like, you know, you're not resolving Butler twice anyways because they're going to have Droplet, right? So you might as well just put it back. So I can kind of see the argument for that, but like, feel like our Prankets players may be letting him get a little too far. Because honestly, I think if he just Battle Butlered on the summon of that Cobalt Sparrow, I think it's literally just GG. And since there was only one Battle Butler effect here, which again, I see now why he would want to go for that. Obviously not to lose super hard to drop it. Make sure you have a good play on the crackback. We will see this Barrel Canary resolve, and he will get to attach one to the Assembled Nightingale, and then 2, 4, 600. So 600 attacking 3 times directly will drop him down to 82 here, I think, if my math checks out. So we'll take, 6, 12, 1800 damage 3 times. Or no, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, no, 6, 12, 1800 damage total. And then we're going to see Zeus. That's going to wipe the field. And then pass turn. Fusion Destiny. No Ash this time. Looks like Fusion Destiny will go in here. And I think he used Downer there. Because he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I don't know if he used Downer there. There's a bit of a glare in the graveyard, so. I was going to say, where was his Battle Butler summon? But Battle Butler already tributed itself off, so. We're going to see him just Fusion Destiny pass. And I kind of see why. You don't want to DPE into a Zeus. You want to let him try to Zeus first, so you can then chain DPE so it gets its graveyard effect off. So you got to be careful with this DPE here. You cannot just, once that all plays out there, once Fusion Destiny resolve, you don't want to just go DPE effect, because then he changes Zeus and then you're out of your DPE loop, which probably loses you the game just as fast. And we're going to see our Tri-Lyrilusc player top deck a Pot of Prosperity, which is so damn good at this point. Probably going to be a bit of a tough Prosperity since he's already gone through 4 cards in the extra deck. So he'll have to maybe banish some things he probably otherwise wouldn't. And we'll see what the play here is going to be. It looks like he's just going to go Battle Phase. And he will let that go. Because again, you cannot chain DP because he will chain Zeus. And you got to let him activate Zeus first. You got to let him make the first move so you don't lose out on your DPE loop. So declare DPE engrave. He'll make Shurig. And then into Farragut here. And then main phase 2, pretty much just free to play. Build a board, grab interruptions, and grab follow-up. He's not going to OTK this turn, but he probably won't need to, as he's going to grab Karis and a copy of DD Crow. And then Farragut spec out the Fractal, banish 2 here. And this is probably going to get Bear Brum, and he doesn't even really need the Pot of Prosperity at this point, which is kind of funny. Already has all the necessary tools available. Yep, there's the Bear Brum, has the DD Crow, and then we're going to see him link 4 into Appaloosa. And having Revolt with 3 Appaloosa negates, plus Zeus, plus DD Crow, I think the writing is on the wall here at this point, unless like the most insane top deck ever comes through. And an Anaconda play is actually still on the line here for our Prankets player, just because of Thunder Dragon Fusion, but only if he plays 2 Battle Butler. DD Crow in the end phase on the DPE. Has to make sure that it does not come back, but the DPE will still resolve here, so we'll see if he summons like a Dasher out of the grave in standby phase. And we'll also see, yeah, it looks like Dasher going to summon a Lancia in the draw phase, and then Dasher getting summoned just to resolve the DPE effect. Still has to resolve, still has to summon a Destiny hero from the grave. You can't not do that just because DPE's in there, especially if you declare the graveyard effect the previous turn. So he gets 2 free bodies on field, right? It's better than nothing. That Appaloosa's at 24. And I wonder, I know Dasher has an effect. Once per turn, you contribute one of the monsters. This card gains 1,000 attack into the end phase. I was going to say, if it had some way to like boost itself over the Appaloosa and force the Zeus. But, I mean, he could have used that. And if you Appaloosa negates, you just go battle phase attack over and that forces the Zeus. Maybe there's a different route there, but he's going to go for Phoenix. It's going to get negated, Revolt, and it's a valiant effort, but it's not going to be enough. and Tri-Lyrilusc taking the entire tournament. Shout out to both of these players. Always a pleasure to commentate over their matches. And if you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. First place Tri-Lyrilusc profile coming. And a huge shout out goes to our Divine level channel members, and they are Tweeter0226, Ponystart, Cadillacs84, and Keith Stitchers. Thank you guys so much as always for your extremely kind and generous support of the channel.